Today I was thinking I have some beautiful golden beets. So I started thinking, well, what do we usually do? And we usually roast them or in a bed of salt, blanch them. When we chop them, it's just like regular cuts or batons and things like that. And I haven't seen this much. I'm sure someone have done it. But then I was thinking, maybe I can do some spheres with a Parisian. And then I cook it slowly in the pan with some olive oil instead of butter. Because usually butter is what gives that fattiness, that super beautiful flavor that butter has. But olive oil is a badass as well. Maybe some shallots. And then kind of saute the spheres there. Very, very, very minimum. And then the glaze with a little bit of white wine. Sounds good, no? And the way I would use this is, I would use it for a party, for example. It would be the garnish of something else. If you're gonna do some tofu or any kind of vegetable protein, like maybe something with soy, and then do some spheres with tofu, or do maybe a roll with cabbage and rice, and then you have your roll and then some spheres on the side. Or also I would use them just as an appetizer, maybe to share. And even I can cook them the way that we were cooking them. You could cover it with crumbs and then you use a toothpick, right? Just for the party, you put like 20 there, 30. And I think it would be something different that people are not used to see. Just having the correct tools. In this case, you would need a Parisian or a melon baller, and that would do it. So that's the way I would use it. Let's do it. First thing we're going to do is cut our top and our bottom of our beautiful golden beet. Then using a vegetable peeler, just peel around. Try to don't waste a lot. If it has a little bit red, that's fine. That will be a nice touch in the color of the bowl. Then using a melon baller, you need to introduce first all the way down. Then just turn until you get a beautiful round. It might happen that right on the edge is not going to be completely round, and that's okay. Because otherwise I would waste a lot. And we don't want that, right? Then when you have the carcass, just cut the exterior so you can get it right into the middle and get more balls out of that. So now we're going to place all our trims from the beets into the steamer because we're going to make the puree with that. Next, shallot. The shallot, we want it to have very, very fine brunoise. So we want this subtle flavor of the shallot seasoning the balls. While our beet trims are steaming, we're going to start cooking our beet spheres. We're going to need a good amount of olive oil because we want to glaze all the beets. Then after that, we're going to add our shallots. We're going to cook them for about 3 minutes on low flame. You don't really want so much color. You can give them some color if you want, but I do not recommend it because we want very nice, smooth flavor, not really caramelization. We are not looking for a lot of that. Then zest a lemon on top, add some salt, and then keep cooking, just to infuse all those flavors in the oil. Now add a little bit of maple syrup. This is going to help with the glazed of these beets. Now you can see how they look very, very shiny, super beautiful. Now we're going to deglaze our pan with white wine, and we're going to reduce it by half, so all the alcohol evaporates. After that, we're going to add our vegetable broth, and then we're going to let it cook for about 40 minutes. Cover it on low flame. After 20-25, you can check to see if it still has broth or not. If it needs a little bit more, just add a little bit more broth. Let's check our beet trims. They are ready. I use a cake taster and you can see that they are cooked properly. They are not mushy because I cook them on low flame in the steamer. If you cook your vegetables when you're steaming them on high flame, they're going to lose a lot of water. Place all the trims in the blender. We're going to add the oil and we're going to blend. The reason we do this first is just to see what is the consistency that the beets have, like how much water do they have. Then after that, I'm going to add a little bit of the liquid of the vegetable broth, or you can add a little bit of water. Then puree it, and then you're gonna see the consistency is more creamy. Then to season, we're going to add fresh squeezed lemon juice and a little bit of salt. I didn't add any pepper here because pepper is going to get in the way of flavor of the beet. I wanted more like a clean beet flavor, not like other spices in it, but you can add actually spices if you wanted to. And now for our last component, we're going to make a pesto. We're going to use a little bit of garlic, and then we're going to start crushing it with a little bit of salt. Salt is going to help to release the moisture from the garlic and break it down. And then we're going to start adding our herbs little by little. Add oil, and the oil is going to help you to crush it a little bit more. It doesn't have to be a perfect puree. It's alright if it's a little bit kind of chunky. That's the texture you want. But if you want it like really puree, just do it more. Season with a little bit of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, and a little bit of salt to adjust the seasoning. Just make sure it has a really good balance between the acidity and the saltiness. Okay, so this is after 40 minutes and they look pretty good. Let's see how are they doing. They are cooked. We want them to be cooked but not to be mushy, so we want them to have some resistance and some texture. Saute them in the same pan so they get glazed, and then let's get to plate. Okay, let's start with our puree using a spoon. You can be creative here. This is just what I did. I just put a little bit of sauce here and there. With the spoon I did like a round, just so the plate has like some movement. And then I put on top of that the pesto, and you can see how the oil is green. That's because of the chlorophyll in the pesto, and that's what makes this plate super colorful, beautiful. And to finish, I added the spheres. These beautiful glazed spheres of beet. When you eat them, they're gonna melt in your mouth. Finish also with a little bit of the glaze around the plate, so in every bite you get a little bit. And with some toasted walnuts, that's gonna be the crunchiness. Just put a little bit, but you can be more generous. If you're gonna make an individual plate, just crush them, and you can even shave them. Remember I mentioned for a party you can do this. So this is something you can do as a canapé. Very simple. So we're gonna use the puree. We're gonna place it in the middle. So when your guests arrive, you got these beautiful appetizer for them so they can take it with your hands. Remember I told you about the walnut? This is very simple. This is a very old technique, but it works. So then you just shave it, get the sphere, dip it in the beet puree, and oh my goodness, just watch them enjoy. So here we learn how to use these beautiful golden glazed beets in 3 different ways. You can use it as an appetizer, you can use it canapé style, and also you can use it just to build a dish itself with the beets. Try it out, and please let me know in the comments what else would you like me to do next. If you like the video, please click the like button, and also if you like this channel and you want to subscribe and see what is coming next week, because I post a video every week, please subscribe and click the notification bell so you are always informed when I release another video. As always, thank you so much for your time. I don't take it for granted. See you next time.